Hello, welcome to my masterclass on how to apply Layered Ternary Harmony Story into our daily life. As a prerequisite to this, I've taped an introduction to Layered Ternary Harmony Story, posted it on my YouTube, and it's also in my Facebook feed. This is a good course for anyone suffering from anxiety, stress, fear, all those sorts of things, especially related to what's going on today with this coronavirus. It's also recommended to anybody just wanting to get more out of their life, have more success in their relationships at home, be happier. This is a really good medicine for this. This sometimes takes a little bit. There we go. In terms of what Layered Ternary Harmony Story is, again, I strongly recommend. Or actually, it's a prerequisite. You really can't. This doesn't make sense without that introduction to Layered Ternary Harmony Story. So do spend some time on it. Watch it, rewatch it as often as you need to until you really feel like you understand it and comfortable with it. You can feel it with your mind. You can kind of see the connections happening from our thoughts all the way to our body, up and through Paradise Story and out the other end of the cosmos. But, Layered Ternary Harmony Story, it is a universal software. And the CPU that can read that all inside of a hydrogen atom. And our cosmos is one big giant hydrogen cosmos. So, in layers. All right. What I've chosen to do for this masterclass is to walk you through what I do, how I use it, how I apply it to my daily life, and it's working wonderfully. I've been doing this actively for about a year. I do it all day, every day, because I've engineered my life to be able to do that now. I'm able to stay in active bliss and inspiration like not a care in the world, feeling like the luckiest person in the universe, and it's authentic, because my mind understands these observations and that they're grounded in actual universal observations and machine executable instruction, which I'm quite familiar with, having been a systems programmer for IBM mainframes in my past, back in the 80s. So walking you through this is basically 5 steps. The first, and they are kind of in order. You kind of need to get to this step to get to the next one. Okay, so first and most important one is to kind of understand and really feel what Layered Ternary Harmony Story is. Then once you got that, applying, kind of learning and applying the known harmony forces into the equation for maximum enhancement. These are universal forces that we observe, that when they're violated, when that thing is its opposite, we observe that unconditionally it triggers disharmony, which unconditionally eventually triggers correction by higher story, which are not usually very pleasant. Our bodies, of humans, we're a living example of 14 billion years of this correction into higher harmony happening, resulting in us and resulting in this very presentation, presenting to you a whole new consciousness. Then we take all that and we look inside of ourselves and we anchor ourselves to this story, placing ourselves in there. I'll show you how I've done that, and I think you'll find success with it. Then we prune our daily lives to create this balanced paradise life that we are wanting for ourselves. Okay. It's just a low battery. We're still going to be good. Sorry about that. Give you whiplash. And And then we will touch on triggers, which are very derailing, and we all have them, and we can get everything nailed down, but then when we're triggered, everything flies out the window. So we're going to learn how to nail those, how to tune them out in an authentic way. All right, just waiting on this slide. There we go. All right, let's get on with this exercise. Okay, here what I could just say is to get really in the groove, understanding and feeling Layered Ternary Harmony Story. It's no different than learning a musical instrument or a language. Practice, practice, practice daily, as often throughout the day as possible, and then it becomes automatic at the beginning of the day, because we live in a negative correction story world right now, and it's very difficult to stay in our paradise story mindset if we don't do this. Even myself, I'm very good at it. I've been focused on it every year. If I start not doing this on a daily basis, I believe my enjoyment of my day won't be the same. That in amongst all of this, I do reflect and remind myself, and this is verified using observation and machine executable architectures of our universe, and using Layered Ternary Harmony Story. I am an eternal being. I am not my body. I'm more than my body. My body serves me. My body's a hydrogen water molecule body that serves my consciousness, expanding my bliss daily, very tenderly, actually. We see our bodies die, but what we don't realize is when we see another body generate, that's ourselves coming through on the other side of this seasonal cycle, expanding our consciousness along the way, enjoying it, enjoying ourselves. I remind myself that I am within a scripted, perfect story that started well before Big Bang, and it took us from nothing to where we are today, over 14 billion years, basically, and to trust it and trust where it's taking us. This is a happy, ever after story. So let's just relax and enjoy it now, and make the best of each day, going with the flow, being accepting of what comes, like a good soldier. Actually, I feel very much like I'm a soldier here, or a little soldier ant, building out paradise, earth, for all to enjoy, all of us to enjoy. Additionally, I want to add that I strongly recommend adding a blissful environment as you're doing this, blissful music on earbuds I like, with maybe a delicious coffee or tea or whatever's your delight, and a nice bowl of sativa that each of these layer and produce a real tangible connection and feeling to this story. Use these to your benefit. It's not a must, but I strongly recommend it. And again, if you're not feeling comfortable with it, keep rewatching that intro, and feel free to contact me too. One other thing I want to mention that I use regularly to help me stay focused is all my artwork. My artwork is maintaining and drawing and keeping my thoughts in Paradise Story. You can do the same, or you can even use mine through the posts which I share. And that's one of the reasons why I share that, to help you see that and quickly get your mind right back where you want it to stay. Slide real quick. All right, next step. We're feeling comfortable with it. Now let's apply harmony forces for enhancement. Well, what are harmony forces? Well, these are observable forces in nature, in our universe, that when they're violated, what we see, when they're not there, what we see is disharmony. And when we see disharmony, what we observe is over time, it corrects to higher states of harmony. So we can engineer ourselves to go there without having to wait for the correction, just by using our intelligence to recognize these forces, like gravity, and like using that to build better buildings, better bridges. Well, here we have the known ones, and I'll go through some of these here, including positivity, authentic positivity, knowing that we're in a divine plan that's moving us towards perfection, towards ever-expanding harmony and consciousness, and knowing that that's a happy ever-ending, and knowing that whatever we see in front of us is things that are required to make this birth happen, to get us there. And that's a positive message, and it's authentic, and it can help us stay positive and keep that half as glass full perspective truthfully. Unity, which is basically accepting the things that come, becoming aligning to everything around us. We watch nature; it's functioning all as a multi-layered organism of one. We are that one part of that. We're one with that. We're one with each other. You see the effectiveness of unity in any excellent sports team, for instance. Imagine no unity in that team and their ability to execute. It's exactly. Progress, which is much more than just a new technology and big business. It's an expanding consciousness, an expanding harmony, an expanding blissful life experience, and all the things that make that up, much more than just expanding profits. And then freedom I've got divided up into two sections. The freedom to follow our dreams daily, our gifts, our interests, our tastes, our cycles. Some of us like to go to bed late, get up late. Some of us like to get up early, go to bed early. That freedom to do these things, and the freedom from the pollution of our day, the pollution, the disharmony, the competition, the unfriendliness, the exploitation, the negativity, freedom from that. I got acceptance here, the acceptance of whatever comes, going with the flow. I think I mentioned that as part of unity, but I've got it listed out here separately. Just becoming one with everything around us and allowing that to take us to where we know it's going. We know where this flow is going. So now just enjoy the ride. Kindness. That's obvious, but we know how toxic unkindness is. The disharmony it produces. And where we see disharmony persistent, we know over time that's going to trigger a correction from higher story. So let's be that higher story and correct it ourselves, I guess is what I'm saying. Leisure and abundance. We know what happens when these aren't there, when there's pressure, when there's oppression, when there's lack, when there's suffering, when there's haves and have-nots, when there's winners and losers. When there doesn't need to be winners and losers, we can build win-win using intelligence, higher intelligence. Our universe is a living example of win-win. I'm just waiting on this again. Next, we're going to take all of this and we're going to anchor ourselves into it. See where we are. Are we a quarterback? Are we